A lot of SaaS founders say they want more conversions. Then they bury their best proof halfway down the page. That was the case on this one as well. James runs Content Snare, a slick platform for collecting client info used by accountants, agencies. We found his homepage was doing a little too much while still underselling what actually makes the product great. We dug into the horizontal versus niche trap, why animated GIFs aren't always enough, and how to stop hiding your credibility. Let's get into it.
Hey, I'm James from Content Snare. We're a software platform for collecting information from clients, mostly used by accountants.
Love it. So for those who might not be familiar in listening to this, what does Content Snare actually do?
Oh, okay. So it's the easy way to get info from clients without the back and forth. Technically, you can think of it like a forms tool on steroids, but from a benefits perspective, it's people are tired of chasing down their clients for information. So that can be documents, it could be answers to questions, all kinds of things. And that's the process we facilitate. Typical use cases might be client onboarding. If it's a marketing agency, they might be getting marketing assets and website content, something like that. If it's a lawyer, they might be getting documentation and answers to questions. If it's a accountant, end of year tax documentation, client onboarding, that kind of thing.
And you have the definition of a horizontal SaaS, which is basically you can be used in a lot of different industries. But I know recently, after kind of chatting back and forth, that you really niched into accounting. Can you maybe share a little bit more of if that's accurate, and B, how you kind of stumbled into that niche?
Now, this is, I guess, a really interesting thing because while we're still maintaining the horizontal stance, as we'll see on the homepage, fairly generic messaging that could apply to most industries, we spend a lot of our time and effort on the accounting industry simply because we're a small team and it's hard to be across every industry. The switch to accounting came about because at first we were actually made for website design agencies. That was like our primary market. Through SEO, we had lots and lots of different industries sign up. And then we thought, hey man, maybe we've got to try and look at any of these and see if they're a better use case. And long story short, we found out accountants were getting incredible value from our product. They're happy to spend money, let's say, on saving time a bit more than our old industry. And so we just found their lifetime value was higher, their conversion rates are higher. They would spend more money on a monthly subscription. So they just were a much better customer for us, much easier to justify. So that's how that pivot happens.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and dive into your homepage. So I can kind of see here, walk me through how you kind of came up with this H1, the easy, secure way to get info from clients without the back and forth.
Oh man, there's been a lot of iterations of this. I think because we're going with the general messaging here, right? It's quite hard because everyone calls what they want to get from clients a different name. Are they getting information from clients? Are they getting content from clients? Are they getting documents? Are they getting data? And so it's very, very hard to have a single headline here that speaks to everyone, even within one industry. If it was accounting, I still don't know what I would say if it was 100% accounting, because we're kind of a category that until recently, we were one of the only players in. Competitors are coming out of the woodworks now, but it's not we're a tool for sending proposals. We're a tool for digital signatures. God, I wish it was so easy to say that. But no, we have to kind of define what it is. And I guess info is I don't know, fairly generic. And without the back and forth is because that's the pain point, right? Everyone is tired of the back and forth to get things from people.
I think that makes sense. I also think that you might be burying one of the most interesting social proof assets you have in tiny font, which is 1,500 happy customers. Why is that maybe not, the easiest way to get info from something like that, tying that in either in your H1 or within that subtext right below it in the hero section? Why is 1,500 so far down?
Yeah, this is, I don't know, it's really hard. Again, we've got to get this point across, right? What we do. And that's kind of hard enough as it is. So I've almost thought maybe we should get rid of that completely because we do have social proof further down. But I really like this idea of having the avatars and the rating in the header. I've seen other products do that and I really like it. That's kind of the only reason it is there. Yeah, look, I don't know, what does it matter if 1,600 people use it if you don't know what it does yet?
Fair point. I also think you're kind of dancing around and you're spot on, where it's the social proof should be in the hero, but I almost wonder if I like the GIF that you have there, but there is nothing in this hero section that screams accountants for accountants.
Oh,
I
no,
know why talking to you because it's a horizontal product, but if you really are dead set on leaning entirely on accountants, maybe add that in just somewhere on this page or even just within that client checklist. So it looks like it's, a standard workflow that an accounting firm would use.
Yeah. And I guess the way we've tried to do that is literally the next section. So kind of highlighting accounting has become the first one. It used to be the other way around, with digital agencies first because they were our biggest segment. Just for reference, we're about 40% accountants at this point. It is by far the major segment. It's just we have so many tiny segments that make up, I think it's like something like 40, let's say 20, and then it's kind of like a few fives or 2 or 3 fives and then heaps of like 1 and 2%. So it has been hard to make that commitment to go like locking down onto accounting. We've gone back and forth on sort of making this specific to accountants for a long time. It just, I don't know.
I think you know the answer, but you're just hesitant on it.
Well, I actually don't. Like the answer that's come from a lot of the conversations I've had is actually keep it generic, but have the accounting specific landing page, especially because a lot of the love we do get from accountants is word of mouth and stuff anyway. So there were a lot of the accountants hitting this page. Again, somewhat of an assumption, but a lot of the people hitting this page from that industry have heard about us already and kind of have the feedback and have heard people talking about us. So that the other people are like, I don't know, probably SEO and that kind of thing. And that's why we have the industry selected and like alienating, like this is the classic niching problem, right? Like, do you go hard on a niche to the exclusion of others? Like, I don't think this alienates accountants. It's like, how much benefit would we get from just like making it accounting specific versus turning everyone else off? And that is like, I honestly don't know the answer to that one. I've gone back and forth on it a lot. And where we arrived is generic messaging with the ability for them to get to the landing page quickly. And I think maybe we could do a better job of that. And perhaps you're right. Like maybe there's something should be up here to really call to accounting, like our top industries or something. I don't know.
I think the H1 you have is super clear. I also think I don't have any sort of problem whatsoever with the subtext as well, or the fact that you have 2 CTAs. Clearly you're product led with also a sales led motion. So super smart way to do that.
That's
I do
brand
think
new,
that
actually.
adding
That's
in,
like a week old.
I do think it's smart. And I do think, maybe making the 1500 a little bit bolder, even if it's just literally in the section where it says collect and organize all your documents and putting that there could go a long way. Where I think you maybe want to hint at accountants, but you're not going to alienate anyone else, is by making that screenshot, the animated GIF, have it be an accounting workflow, particularly if it's one where it's a client onboarding and it's just accounting clients. Yeah, an agency's going to see that and they're still going to be able to see, oh, I can use this with my client.
Yeah, that's true. I think this GIF has helped a lot, like, because that's one of the hardest things is like, what does the product look like? What does it do? And I think this has been the first time we've actually really made it like clear that it's like, people can type stuff in, they can upload stuff and they can complete tasks, and that was, quite a big change.
I think your gift is amazing. The only thing I would maybe add is just add in accounting firm.
Yeah, I do like that. That's a very subtle and easy way to change it. Yeah.
The other thing I'm noticing is you have industries in your navbar and then you also have industries on your homepage and they both point to the same place.
Yes.
Is that redundant?
No, I don't think so. I think, again, you feel free to push back on this, but there's just different ways people navigate a website, right? And I think I tend to go straight to a menu personally rather than read, whereas some people scroll. And I guess we'll get into this as well. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's super outdated. It's like a quarter of our... I thought I changed that the other day, but obviously didn't save. We'll get into this because we've got a lot of words on our homepage. Yeah. And this really doesn't gel with me because I'm like the engineer developer type. And what I've learned is that the biggest mindset shift I've had recently is that people have different ways. Like some people want to watch a video. Some people want to read. Some people just want to see screenshots. And so this is catering for a certain kind of person. We had someone say they signed up the other day because of, I can't remember which wording it was, but it was like buried in one of these paragraphs. And I was like, oh my God, they read it, like it was so crazy to me. But the thing is, like, the way I see it is people will skip over the things they don't want to do. So if they don't want to read, they'll go and look for screenshots. And similar here, it's like, if you're the heading type, you go there. If you're a reader, like, hopefully we catch you here, right? That's kind of my thinking.
First of all, I don't have a problem with 95% of the title of this homepage is great. I think your H1s and your H2s are really, really well done. Where I would push back a little bit is something that I've seen across a lot of SaaS company websites, which is having too many CTAs and almost using your CTAs as a crutch. Ideally, I'm going to assume that you basically want people to either start a free trial or book a demo. Is that accurate?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So then why do you have so many different CTAs across your navigation menu and then also within your homepage?
Where are you referring to? What other CTAs?
I mean, like looking at your navigation menu where it has how it works, and I'm guessing there's a lot of drop downs there. Within industries, which I have no problem with. However, you have the industries that actually works fine. I would count that as just one CTA. Where I'm going to refer to it more is in the industry section. If you have industries within your navbar, and then you have it still visible, like right here, like right below the hero section, that to me feels redundant.
This bit does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
again,
pick one
to
or-
me, it's
yeah,
just
pick
like,
one
it's
or the
just like,
other.
oh, this is kind of like what we were talking about before, where it's like, you know, if someone is an accountant, to me, this calls out to them a bit more and goes, oh, okay, like it is for them, it is for us, sorry. It's just two ways of getting to the same information. And I think that's what all this is. Like, rather than having this as CTAs, it's like catering for people who need to read more or want to read more. That's what I see this as, rather than CTAs. Like on CTAs, like we used to have just start my free trial, but they're like, we've discovered that in accounting, so many people want to talk to people. So that's why we've had that secondary CTA. I know like some people are really big on not having two CTAs. It should only be one in the header, but I don't know, like I've really swung around on that, and I kind of want to push back on that general advice, because like how many people, if this is the first time they've ever come here, I'm going to start my trial now. I almost think that should be like a learn more so lame as a CTA though, right? But like people want to like see how it works. I don't know, like play with an interactive demo. I think we need to like experiment with these things. In fact, that's what happens on the demo page. There's a few options there. CTAs, yes, are, well, I mean, yeah, they are the main two. Again, I just see everything else as like information, different ways for people to process what they need to find to, like, you know, how it works. It's like, oh, these are like the things it can do, right? And we have that.
I mean, that product tour section works great for a SaaS company like yours.
Yeah, but we also repeat a lot of that down here. Yeah, so we reiterate a lot of those same like features here. So look, I just assume so many people don't even read the homepage. Right? Like I don't anymore. When I almost never read the homepage of a products thing. Like I start digging around into here. So again, they're just, I don't know, different ways to get the same information across.
Totally get that. Do you think maybe some of it might be that you're trying to optimize for your use case as opposed to what your customers actually do?
For my use case, can you elaborate on that?
I mean, like, just because you don't look at the homepages and you have and you're the classic really technical founder.
Oh yeah. Well,
but like an accountant probably, because you have said it before that like, hey, somebody saw something on my homepage that was like buried in the text, and that's what caused them to sign up. So I'm wondering if some of it is confusing your own use cases with how actually your customers think.
So that's kind of why I let someone else do the homepage, a copywriter, right? Like someone else went through and was like, you know, I hate this. I absolutely hate that there are these massive blocks of text on our homepage. But, you know, that's me just going, okay, like, let's do what I'm told. In the case that, like, you know, these people know what they're talking about. So that's how I kind of let go of this. Like, I do make some changes that I like, probably for my own benefit, but I also talk to a lot of customers. Now I've spoken to accountants, and I like put this in front of them. I tried to get in front of a few people where they'd heard about Content Snare but not looked at it, so they hadn't had a trial. And I started here. I was like, okay, no, we started literally on an open web browser. I was like, okay, go and find out more about Content Snare and watch them like Google it and land on the homepage. And like some people would scroll down to like maybe here, not even that. But most people went like straight to the menu. Almost everyone that I spoke to goes directly to pricing. This is like the flow that most people would say. They say they go to pricing, have a quick glance and check that it's within like a reasonable level. And then they might go back to the homepage, or they might go to the tour, or like to various places from there. That's kind of where it deviates a bit. Yeah. So look, I don't know. I think that there is definitely going to be bias, but a lot of this homepage is not necessarily me putting this together.
Yeah. Can you scroll down to the video?
Yeah. The massive video of me.
Why is it so far down the page?
Yeah, this is another thing. It's like, who depends on the people, because the GIF was kind of the replacement here. Like the video was at one point. This has gone through so many, like I think the video was even maybe up here at one point. Look, again, doing what I'm told. It's so hard to know what the right thing to put first is, because it depends on who's looking at and how that person likes to read. Like personally, I don't watch videos, right? So, and again, this is just to clarify, this is not my decision to put it this far down. There are multiple ways to get to a video though, right? Like I think I've already closed it, but there is a pop-up that's like, hey, do you want to watch like a 5-minute video, which is the same video, but it actually gives people the option to choose the one that's relevant to their industry. So it'll be like, hey, what industry? Accounting, we show you the accounting video. Before someone books a demo, they've got the option to, you know, watch a little 5-minute video as well. So what is it, like you lead the horse to water, you can't make them drink? It's just like, we're trying to give people information so many different ways, because there's no way they're going to follow some predefined set of steps. Everyone wants to do their own thing. And it's kind of just like, these are the important assets, like the video, the GIF, the tour page, the pricing. Like, and here at the industry page, like, and there's various ways to get there. Like, I don't know. That's the only answer I've got to that.
I would argue the video humanizes the product and makes it seem like the premium experience that it is. That doesn't need to be in the here section. No. Maybe, or let me just rephrase that to say, I would put it either right above or right below what do you do, and then make sure that the video ties back to all of the use cases, or at the very least, the agency and the accountant use cases.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't remember. I think we have videos on the landing pages, but yeah, this one probably needs to change because that's just a case study that we should probably talk about the use case there better. But yeah, like I agree. And again, it's one of these things that it's hard to know what the right thing is. And I don't even know if we would have enough data to be able to split test this and get a real result out of it. I feel like every time I run a split test, it's like inconclusive. Yeah, so I agree. It's just yeah, like I would love to have something above these words, like I was saying, because I like the words.
Yeah, I think you're dead on. I would make the video way higher because it's super, super compelling and it humanizes the brand and makes it, and people connect and want to buy from people.
Yeah, that's fair.
The other thing I would mention is you have a list of logos that are also halfway buried down the page. Move that, yeah, the logos where it's like Emirates, Newfold, the University of Alabama. Oh, that's an interesting one. Maybe move that up to right after the hero section, so it's still visible above the fold, and just gives you, additional credibility. You already have that when you have 1,500 happy customers, but just adding in those logos is just another way to reinforce, hey, big brands are using us.
Yeah, it's again so hard. It's like how much information do you try to cram in above the fold? And it's because the one thing I've thought about here, like because this is kind of really important. We want people to go to the right thing, and so, I don't know, having more information there might muddy that. Yeah, like again, that's just another thing we need to test. We need to change those logos too. I was working on that yesterday, but they weren't the right format. Just a couple of them because we're like we wanted to have some accounting specific ones there, and on the accounting page we want to have accounting firms, etc., which doesn't happen yet. Yeah, and look, I guess that's an interesting one. Like, I guess I do look at logos when I go to site. It's just like you have a quick glance to be like, oh yeah, look, it makes you feel like you're in a place that like that's all it is, right? You glance at it and you're like, yep, it's legit. Keep going, right?
That is literally the only reason why I'm saying put it in your hero section. Just right below it. There's a reason that it's an industry standard, and why 95% of B2B SaaS companies do that. Yeah, it's because it works. Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to scroll down even more. Okay, like I said, past your video down here. So on both, even a potato could use it. I like it. It's as long as it's converting with your target customers or accountants, it makes sense. Yeah, like I said before, I totally agree that there maybe is a little bit too much text, but if you're getting people who are signing up and quoting that text back to you, what I would maybe challenge and think about is there a way that you, on the next 10 demos, you straight up ask people, how did you hear about us? What made you sign up? And just make sure that's parroted back on them. Yeah, that's fair. We do. So I will say a lot of that kind of information went into this copy, although that it's probably like, I wouldn't say it's outdated, but it's probably like at least 18 months outdated. Not that the reasons change that much for us, but like they've all been fairly consistent over time. But yeah, we did a lot of like customer call transcripts and all that sort of stuff to do this. And I think like that's what this section is all about, is trying to really hammer in the fact that it's one of the easiest things out there, and that's why it works. So I think that's like a lot of competing products just throw together some like portal where it's like, oh yeah, clients will use this. No, they won't, because it sucks and it's painful to use. And so that it's very hard to get that across in messaging without being like, no, all the other products suck. So that's kind of what this is getting to. That's where this came from, right? Like, and then actually showing people like they have the option to do like an interactive demo. Again, that's like we spoke about multiple CTAs before, but this also comes in lots of different places. Like before they book a demo, it's like, hey, if you just want to see what it looks like to a client, here's the option to do that. On the tour, it's like, hey, I know you want to know how it looks like for a client, so look, here's the button to do that. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, to the point of an interactive demo, I think that's genius. And I know there's a lot of software that does it, like Novatic. But like, have you just thought about to the point of I actually like your animated GIF at the top of your home screen. Have you thought about potentially just making that in the narrative demo instead? So like people can go right through your homepage and immediately see how Content Snare works.
Yeah, so I think potentially we could do something like that. I like there's a bunch of products that have come out now that sort of make clickable. So this interactive demo is just the client experience, right? Rather than what the accountant would see.
Mhm.
I've seen some interactive demos that are kind of like clickable, almost like clickable prototypes. And I have thought about using something like that, even instead of the video.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you're spot on. And like I said, the one that I know of is Nevada. Yeah, there's a lot of interactive demo tools now. I probably will get in trouble for saying this, but I just will. They're essentially clickable prototype meets slideshows, but
yeah.
they tend to work really, really well for a product like this, where you kind of need to experience how frictionless it is.
Yeah, and the other thing is there's two pieces to ours where it's like sending the requests to people and then what the clients actually see. And those are like, I don't know, two very different things that we need to communicate. And that's so this interactive demo is only the client experience.
Yeah.
It's very specific on like sending yourself a request. And this isn't like not only an interactive demo, this is like actually using our product as if you were a client. So it's pretty cool. Like it works really well, but and people love seeing that. But yeah, I mean, maybe we could really hammer that in up here. Like,
I think you're
I guess that's just
burying
another CTA then. Like,
yeah, or just switch it up and just make the image be the interactive demo,
Yeah,
and
that's
let
true.
it be like right on the page. But I think you're burying probably the most compelling aspect on your homepage so far down the page.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Again, it's just competing priorities, right? Like in my mind, at this point, we're trying to communicate what the product actually is. And it depends so much on the knowledge of the person that's hitting this page. You know, like, do they understand what we do already? Or are they problem aware, solution aware, like all those classic things? Yeah. And so that's like, if you already know, you're like, oh, I want it like an easy way to get like information from clients, then yeah, interactive demo makes sense to have there. But I've always thought about having like how cool it would be to like, I have no idea if this would work, like some kind of self-selecting thing where it's like, instead of all this like standard hero, it's like, who are you? Where are you at? What stage are you at? Like, here's the relevant information. And look, I don't know if anyone's tried that. I assume they have and it hasn't worked, which is why no one's doing it. But like to me, that would be just like ideal. You can get them the like the exact information that like, what industry are you in?
Mhm.
What stage you at? Do you already use a similar product? Are you just trying to explore? How do you like to learn? Is it text-based, video-based? Do you want to do an interactive demo? Like, here's your customized like learning thing. I don't know. Like, God, I'd love to try something like that.
Yeah, I think you're dead on. Yeah, but I would say just in general, like lean into your instinct around the interactive demo. It's going to convert.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and if you want to scroll all the way down past the interactive demo part,
Actually, I'm not
okay,
trying
yeah,
to
the process, that
reload
makes a
this.
ton of sense. I have zero feedback here. This is done really well.
How do you feel about the like alternating screenshot thing? Like, is this overdone? Does like, man, what is going on? I just cleared cache on this thing while I was trying to in the background. Maybe I didn't do it properly. I think we had some cache issues. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I'm in two minds about that. These are all like, it was like one screen, and these are like tabs you could click through. And I think a lot of people didn't realize that you could click through them, which is why we changed to this just like standard scrolling thing. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's.
I always default in things like this to clear, not clever. So this is super clear. Is it maybe
Okay.
a little bit of a redundant design? Yes,
Mhm.
but you can instantly see, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to be able to see instantly what Content Snare does
Mhm.
through this process that you have right now.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, like, okay, I'm happy with that.
And then, okay, where it says there, that works. 6 reasons both you and your clients will love Content Snare. I like the headline. Instead of having it be ready-made templates, automated reminders, stuff like that, could you maybe have like social proof right there? Like, I like all that copy. I just don't necessarily know if it matches the headline.
Whereabouts? Sorry.
6 reasons both
Oh,
you
yeah.
and your clients will love Content Snare.
Well, that's
I like
kind of what
the
we were
fact that you
going
have a
for there.
testimonial,
Yep.
but I almost wonder if like all of the different reasons would be better served under a different headline. And then they're there, you have like 6 testimonials.
Yeah, that's fair. We used to do, yeah, I think the plan was to roll more social proof throughout this entire page, and that's why you do see sort of testimonials sprinkled through. Originally, I wanted to have one testimonial backing up every single one of these points, but in the end, we just didn't because there's so much going on there already. But yeah, like I agree. I don't know, like I find these kind of sections a little bit weird. Again, caching issues, the icons hadn't loaded. Yeah, I don't know. Like, does anyone read these things? I have no idea.
I mean, so you could probably get rid of those ones because it's not bad, but it's not like adding anything to this page.
Yeah,
Whereas,
I
just
agree.
replace them with social proof would be another way to just add something that isn't just the same boilerplate feature
Yeah, and I
that
think
everyone
like
has.
now that I look at these, every single one of these I would have a testimonial for. Like
Yeah.
instead of this blurb here. Is that what you're saying? Like instead of this blurb, just replace
Yeah.
that. So someone talking about, I love that all the templates are there, blah blah blah. And automated reminders like have made us like remove a whole team member's worth of time and whatever. I love that I can push back on the client's things. Like, is that what you're saying? Is
Absolutely, yes. More
yeah,
social
we could
proof.
definitely do that. Yeah, I like
No worries.
that.
And as I really like whoever designed the headline after, which was well, pay accountants, agencies, attorneys, and other professionals that don't start the letter A. That's kind of cheeky, but actually in a really cool way. So kudos on one.
Yeah, honestly, like the woman who wrote this is a comedic writer, and she's I just love the fact that she's like injecting humor into all of this. It's like I like that to be my brand, but I'm so bad at doing it in real life. Oh, sorry, in copy, like in real life. Absolutely. I'm happy like in a chat. But when it comes to like writing copy, I've just like really struggled to be funny. So it was good to have that injected in there.
Totally. And then go further down the page.
That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Yeah, and then everything else you have looks good. Maybe add in that dual CTA where it has try my free trial and book a demo right there. And that'd be the only
True.
thing I would say.
That's a good point. Yeah. We only just added that book a demo button up the top like last week.
So before we wrap, is there anything else that you want me to add in?
No, I think that's it. There's some decent changes there already.
Awesome. Thank you so much.